This is my latest project. This is called a Prestridge hive. It's a 3-chambered Langstroth inline hive. Um, Charles Prestridge, he was the first person to do this. He had his brood nest in the center with honey on both ends. And in my design, I'm going to run the brood in the front and honey in the back. I make this hive using Advantech for the sides and a ripped 2x4 for the rim. That gives me a space here of 1.5 inches. That's how thick the insulation will be on the outside here. There's that frame rest. It's the decoat style where you have just a board on the outside. So the divider wall is made out of a couple of different components. This top frame rest is made from a stripped down 2x4. It's 1 inch wide. It's got a 3/8 of an inch frame rest on either side, and those are 3/4 of an inch deep, which matches the frame rest going around all the way around. So the divider wall on top is that frame rest, and below I have a metal queen excluder on this side. And on the other side, I have a grid of dowel rods and some Advantech supports that fills the space here so bees won't build comb underneath this frame rest. So here's a close-up of these comb excluders, these spacers to prevent comb from being built underneath the frame rest. And there's the queen excluder. I cut that with a simple metal saw and grinder, and went around the edge so it's nice and smooth. It won't hurt anybody. Probably need to put tape on that edge with all the little spikes. These dowels are 1/4 inch thick, but they're only 16 inches long, so they don't go all the way. So I alternated them, and it leaves a bigger gap. That's technically a violation in bee space there. But I find that they tolerate violations in bee space a bit more in certain areas. And over to the side, they're a little bit more tolerant than in the middle. We'll see if it works. This isn't that big of a gap, 3/4 of an inch. So we'll see if they really want to build a little tiny comb in there. It won't be much if they do. There's the single when you pair it with a queen excluder, and this is the double for a wall without a queen excluder. The comb spacers are removable. They slide out. They're just held in with friction, and I put some beeswax here, and that holds them in place. Once they're occupied by bees, the bees will propolize them, and they'll be permanent. In each chamber, there's a slit in the bottom, 2 inches wide by about 10 inches long. I'll cover that with number 8 hardware cloth, and that's just for ventilation. I don't like a screen bottom board, but I do like a little bit of insulation through the floor. So just to let you know, I'm not a carpenter, as you can probably tell. But I do get it together. I use a lot of glue on these joints. You can see the glue that's built up on there. I really layer it on between all the joints. And like this top support, it's on there to help this wall not bow as much. You want it screwed together really well in both directions. See? So as you can see with this foam board on there, that the bees never touch styrofoam. They always touch wood. They go right through there, and they have an entire wooden layer here that will never touch styrofoam. This styrofoam is glued to the wooden box with PL300, really really good stuff. I'll seal all of these seams really good and seal this up really nice and tight. This side insulation, this is 1.5 inch foam board from Home Depot. So this is about R7.5 on the side. On the top, I'll have 3 inches in the lid. So that should be about R15 in the lid at least. I might go a little bit more. So it'll be nice and snug for them. I will have some inserts that will be removable for the vents in the bottom of each chamber. Those will be foam inserts that I will probably plug up mostly in the winter and then remove them in the spring. So once I seal up the outside with this foam all the way around, I will encase it in poor man's fiberglass, which is Titebond 3 glue painted on, and then a layer of canvas drop cloth, and then layers of glue and then paint after that. Makes for a really, really good, long, durable outer coating that will protect all of this for many years. Couple notes on this thing. It's 3 chambers long. Each chamber is a square. So it's about 5 foot long with the insulation and everything. So you need a pretty good stand. I haven't built a stand yet, but you need a robust stand and supports, cross supports underneath each supporting wall, like these frame rests here and the ends. Your stand needs to have support under those areas. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm not a carpenter. Things aren't perfect, but it's square. I think it's going to work pretty well, and the bees will love it, I'm sure.